So we're going to say hello, everybody, and I'm going to pause the recording. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coalition for the Protection of Children and Families, the Parent Advocate Network, and I am here to say hello to you and invite everybody to participate in the discussion. I hope that you will join us tonight. I have been working very diligently on getting information together for the parental rights booklets, and I'm not quite done, but I have learned a lot over the past few weeks regarding our rights, our human rights, our civil rights, and how they are being denied regularly and repeatedly in laws by states. And if you look in, there's some information I found. The National Council on Disabilities put out a review of state-by-state laws that specifically discriminate against parents with disabilities, mental and physical disabilities, and they basically compile it together into the same category as drug addicts and drug users. And there's so much different between these two conditions, and they're trying to muddy the waters and make it seem like if you're a drug addict, that's all they're going to look at. And even if you need to have medications, they're prescribed by your doctor and you need to take them regularly, the Department of Child and Family Services will find a way to make it look like you're an addict and not. disabled. And there's no specifics in many of the states as to who determines whether or not a parent with disabilities is going to be able to take care for their children. So there's no clarity there in a lot of states about whether or not you have to have a doctor sign over saying that a parent is incapable of caring for their children, or it could be anybody. And in a lot of states, and in the state of California, the state and officials of this state do not recognize parental rights as fundamental rights. And there are many other states that do not recognize parental rights as fundamental rights. And this is atrocious because it's in complete and total contrast and contradiction with what the United States of America was built on, what the Bill of Rights has given us. These are our unalienable rights, and even the fact that we have signed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Every state signed that in 1992, and President Bush Sr. was the one who ratified it. It has to be signed by senators and representatives, I believe, in every state in order for it to be ratified. And it was ratified in 1992. And it very clearly states that the government's officials do not have the right to get involved in parental liberties and rights. They have no right to interfere with parental rights, no right to interfere with the family. And this is very clear, and there are people out there who are trying to muddy the waters, saying that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is not a document that is in favor of human rights, when it really is, and it is the law of the land, the true law of the land. And you know, I have been writing letters to everybody I can through Department of Justice, 3 different parts of the Department of Justice, and I received a letter back from the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division on, well, it's dated July 29, 2017, but I did not receive it until the beginning of August. And it says that after carefully reviewing information that you have provided, we have decided not to take any further action on your complaint. Unfortunately, because the section receives thousands of ADA complaints each year, we do not have the resources to resolve all of them. And then it further states, it is important to note that the Department of Justice has made no determination regarding the merits of your complaint or whether it could be redressed under the ADA or another statute. Moreover, our decision not to take further action does not affect your right to pursue your complaint in another manner. You may wish to contact an attorney or legal service provider to determine what remedies may be available. And it just, again, is another department of our federal government that is saying they are not responsible. The last time I came to you guys, I was talking about the letter that I received from the Department of Health and Human Services that stated that they could, it was not within their jurisdiction to investigate fraud and misappropriation of funds, which was the letter that I requested that they investigate on my behalf, on my case. And I'm sure that there are many other parents out there who have done this very same thing and have received similar letters to the one I just read off to you. And I would like to encourage you to hold on to that, because when we get enough of them, I believe that there are ways that we can readdress the issue, as even the Department of Justice says we can. So I would like to see if anybody is out there. Hello, is anybody out there? I thought there were people who were planning on joining me tonight. But in lieu of that, I would like to share a little bit of the booklet that I have been working on for over 3 months. So, hold on, if you give me a moment. That was the wrong button. All right, and so I started with Arizona because there have been multiple counts of human rights violations and children that have been removed for no reason whatsoever, and parents are being denied their civil rights and their human rights. And I believe that some of it has to do with the lack of education, and this is what I've been talking about. It's educating the people, but we can't just educate the people on Facebook. We can't just educate the people on the internet. We need to be going out there educating people in your community, educating people, by passing out flyers, passing out information, like the information from Jerry Pfeffer's file that she shares on Facebook that talks about the different Department of Child and Family Services departments and how they take your children away from you and deny you your rights. And those are very important brochures that she has put together. And I hope that you will all look at them. I have posted links, other people have posted links. But this project is about informing parents of their rights, not only rights at the state level, but at the federal level and at the international level, because invariably our United States Constitution spells it all out for you, that there are laws that cannot be changed, cannot be civil rights that cannot be denied on a state level in any part of a bill where they have been denied, makes the whole bill or the whole law irrelevant. And so we have to remember these are our rights. We have rights that are inalienable, and I would like to show you. So that's the front page of the Arizona Revised Bill of Rights, because Arizona did in 2015 ratified the Parents' Statute and Bill of Rights. It's an amended Bill of Rights. And so anybody who is there in Arizona needs to know this, that is a parent or is a parent that is starting a new family. I mean, there are parents every day that are losing their parental rights, losing their children, and we need to be stopping this activity. And one of the ways to stop this activity is to educate parents on how they can maintain their rights as parents and as humans. Human rights. This is about human rights and the gross violation of human rights. And so it goes on and talks about the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And, these are unalienable. I mean, they cannot be tread on. We cannot be tread on. These are our rights. And they're officials and judges that are saying that they're not there, are totally disregarding them. Every way you turn, we need to remember these and assert our rights at every turn. And so that's what I've been working on. And I had hoped that maybe I would see somebody who like to come on. I'm gonna send out a little bit of a reminder for everybody. And I hope that you will join us tonight. And we can talk about all kinds of different activities parents are doing to fight this fight, and how can we help? And I started out this meeting with a meditation because I believe that it's really important for us to take time for self-care. This is a long, hard battle that we are in, and it's a battle of education. It's a battle of information. And here we are continuing to go forward and tell people the truth. And that's what we need to keep doing. But sometimes we need to take time for self-care, because if we don't take care of ourselves, we're going to get sick. And we end up not being able to do the job that we were planning to do, that we are destined to do. I mean, we're still alive. We're still here after everything we've gone through. We're still saying, stop, this is not right. We need to be working and making our rights be affirmed, be recognized, and be upheld. And, you know, we can't do that and not think about, okay, well, I've got to breathe for myself too. I got to take a breath and take a moment. Yeah, I mean, I lost my parental rights to my children almost 2 years ago. I have not seen them for almost 2 years now. And it's hard every night going to sleep without my children in my house. And I miss them so much. And there was a time not too long ago where I was so depressed and unable to function that I just stayed in a little room basically, and didn't explore, didn't reach out for help, because I had reached out for help when I was in the system. And I was taken advantage of. And a lot of parents I've read about, this has happened to them. And, you know, one of the pages that we offer at coalitionforprotection.com is, it talks about what to do when you are approached by CPS or police officials in your home. You know, a lot of us have found out through trial and error that these people are not our friends. They act like they want to help us, but they don't really want to help us. They're in it for the money. We got to start following the money. Following the money, we also got to start looking at the laws, looking at our local laws, and then looking at how they contradict our constitutional laws, the Bill of Rights. All of this is a part of our rights, and more parents don't know their rights. They weren't given that education in school. A lot of the elementary and high schools today do not teach cultural history of the United States. They do not teach the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. You know, when I was not with my children, but had visits with my son, he was a brilliant child. He learned about the anatomy of frogs and lizards and stuff when he was 4 years old. And when I didn't have him with me any longer and he was in a charter school, he was not being taught what he was being taught in the charter school. When he went into the public education system, because that's where they put our children, when they take them, all he was doing was taking tests and doing a small amount of education on the side. But mainly it was taking tests, whether they were the actual tests of the week or they were mock tests. And this, even at 14, he was talking about this. And it just amazes me how our education system has so deteriorated that the next generation doesn't know their rights. And we know this is about dumbing down the public, dumbing down the people, so that they can take more and more of our rights away from us. But we have to stand up and stop them from doing that. This is about educating people. It's not about telling somebody that they're wrong or right. It's about telling them, well, if you look at this law here, read it and tell me what you think of it, what it says to you, what does it mean to you? And let's talk about it. Let's talk about what this law in the state constitution, how it contradicts federal law. Let's talk about it. Let's start finding solutions based on that. Yeah, we have a corrupt system. It's been that way for years. I don't know how many years, but very, very, very long time. And the only way that we can change that is become a unified force and work together, because we, the people, are the fourth branch of government. And we can hold those who have been fraudulent, have been thieving, have been taking from the public, the American public, our families, our children, our rights, our lives. But we have the right to hold these people accountable. We have that right. And the Human Rights Tribunal is showing that we have that right by allowing for this great jury to assemble and for the Human Rights Tribunal, which is an international court, to look at the human rights violations, which the United States of America has to abide by because it's been ratified by the United States of America. So they have to abide by these international laws. And our human rights are being violated, and we can seek compensation and restitution for those violations against anyone, including judges. There's been some back and forth about that, but it's in art, I believe. Well, I have to look at it again. I don't have a really good memory. I apologize. But it's in the Articles of the Constitution. And it's also, in case precedent has been set, and people are getting, winning their cases against judges who have committed fraud. So that's not a myth. And these lower courts, these family courts, have to be accountable to higher courts. Every single part of a court, or family court, which is, not really that much of a court. It's it's a kangaroo court, as Don said. And so this kangaroo court that we all agree to unknowingly denies us of trial by jury, focuses on the well-being of the child, and makes lies up about the parents. And then the parents in the family court do not have the ability to face their accuser, to provide evidence to contrary, none of that. And so parents who have been accused of neglect and abuse have a right to a trial by jury, have that right, because they are being accused of committing a crime. When you are being accused of committing a crime, the proper court to go to is the criminal court, not the family court. And this is something that a lot of parent advocates have been talking about, and I just want to reiterate and reinforce that. And I would like to see if I can get a hold of anybody. So yeah, just been hard at work. I would like to make it to Washington, D.C. for the Million Parent March, and I hope that I can. I am looking for donations to get a ticket to get there. I would like to be able to have the books as well published, but at the very least, I will have them published to the website, and I hope that you will take advantage of it. I'm also seeking more parent advocates. We need more advocates to be involved with the Parent Advocate Network. We have parents who are logging into the website. This is a private network for parents who are in distress to go online and ask for help. See this button here? Right now it's offline. If a parent is seeking help, there's information that they can fill out here, and then one of the parent advocates will get right back to you. We have a lot of different resources here. I hope that all of you will come check it out. It looks like we got a little bit of, oh no, it was working better before. Sorry about that. Sometimes there's too much information on the screen on the computer and it doesn't process it all very well together. So I apologize for that. But if you go to Coalition for, the number 4, protection.com, you can check out the different resources that we provide and the links and information for parents who are going through the trauma of separation from their children. And this is happening far too often. There are parents out there who are considering ending their life, and I hope that those of you who are considering that option, please, please, please reconsider, because killing yourself is like so not where you need to be. I mean, your children need you, even if they aren't with you right now, even if you are struggling and it looks like there is no hope. I am begging you, please reconsider, for the love of your children, for the love of your life. There are other options. We are here to help. And I hope that you will join us. I hope that you will become a parent advocate and participate and help parents who are going through the trauma right now and feel that there is no hope. Please join us at coalition4protection.com and help us bring children back home. We've got to become families again. Bring it back to the family. We have human rights violations everywhere, but the biggest human rights violation right now for many, many, many families is the discrimination, the fraud, the misappropriation of funds, the abuse of power, and the abuse of resources that people who have the money and the power to do this are doing. This is bullying behavior. We talk about how in schools it's a bully-free environment. And if you have bullying going on in society, but you have children in a bully-free environment, when those children grow up, they're not going to be able to defend themselves. We have to stop the bullying so that we can be able to be families again, be able to work together again, and stop the fighting, stop the abuse. I wish that there were some way to stop it right now. I've thought about this a lot and seen the laws that a whole bunch of states have for discriminating against parents with disabilities. I'm wondering if it is at all possible to do a stay order on any further CPS removals or DCSF or whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm wondering if anybody knows anything about that, because I don't. I'm very what do you call it? I'm more about finding the information and putting it in a proper spot, but I cannot remember it in my head. I had a traumatic brain injury when I was 13 years old. I have 4 staples in my head and 2 metal plates. And, you know, I think about all the pain and trauma that I've been through over the years, being a victim of domestic violence for many years, being held captive mentally, emotionally, and physically. And why am I still alive? I've been in 3 near-death car accidents. And the only thing that I can see right now as to why I'm still alive is because I still have something that I can do here to help others. It is my sincere belief that when we help each other and when we are recognizing each other for our commonalities and not excluding people for their differences, that we shall overcome anything. And it's time that we work together to do that. And I, have been praying and meditating and talking with people and looking at all of the different factors. I see some people who have been mean here in the groups to others, and that's not helping anybody. When you discriminate and are derogatory towards somebody and call people names and make them feel less than, you're doing the exact same thing that they're doing. And that's why they're winning. They're keeping us divided. We need to come together. We need to work together. We need to share what each of us is doing so that we can talk about it. We can make better choices. We can help others make better choices. We can help create sanctuaries. I was listening on this program today on NPR, and they were talking about how the churches are now, there are actually 800 churches in the United States that provide sanctuary for immigrants, illegal immigrants, because we're having this big influx and everybody's panicking about the illegal immigrants crisis in the United States. And so these churches are stepping forward and they're providing sanctuary for these illegal immigrants and helping them to either move up into Canada or back into Mexico or integrate into the United States of America as U.S. citizens. And, you know, this is great. I think this is great. And we can also use this system because now these 800 churches, which is more than anywhere else in the world, are saying very clearly that they're providing sanctuary. You as a parent can go to these churches and request sanctuary if you feel that you are being discriminated against, persecuted, targeted, that's the word. And so that was a great thing for me to discover today, and I will be sharing more about those sanctuary churches. It would be great if we could get more sanctuary churches and faith-based communities. They don't have to be churches. As long as they're organized as nonprofit faith-based communities, they can provide sanctuary to anybody. So there's a lot that can happen there too, and that's you know, one of the things that I've been working on and talking to some people about, and I hope that you will bring your ideas to the table. Let's brainstorm and talk about ways that we can support family values and bring children home and stop the misappropriation of funds, stop the tyrannical removal of our children from perfectly good homes, stop the child rape and molestation and abuse that they suffer while in foster care. We can do this, and you are invited to participate in this Parent Advocate Network meeting. We have it every Wednesday from 6 to whenever. I had hoped that there would be some people calling in tonight. We have had a few weeks where I was out because I was working on these booklets, and so I understand, and I did change the day. It used to be on Saturdays, but that was not very amenable apparently to some people, and I want to be able to get everybody in. So maybe if you can tell me what day would be a better day, or if we could schedule some day where we can talk, and I can share this parent advocate meeting with you and with other parents, and everybody can learn a little bit more about what our rights are and how we can stand up for them. And I hope that, so Dawn now wants to know, well, I'm here. So, all right, well. for those of you who are out there doing the great work, bringing education to parents all over the country and all over the world for that matter. I'm here to help you, and let's connect. I want to see if we can work together. We can pull our resources together and make some real noise. There's already now a lot of coverage in some states. In New York, there's been some coverage of CPS fraud. In California, NBC is looking into a lot of different issues regarding the medication that children have been on, regarding in foster care, regarding foster care abuse and neglect. And so, you know, we're starting to get into the mainstream media, and we need to just keep pushing forward and getting more and more people out there to know what's really going on. And if you check out my link on Zoom, well, it's the shared video that you're watching right now. And there's a Zoom link, and you download Zoom and you can participate in these meetings. And we have them every week, and I hope that you will join us. And it doesn't seem like anybody's going to be able to be attending tonight's meeting, so we shall try again soon, I hope. For those of you who are having difficulty with Zoom, I'm not very technical at that. I wish I could help. Maybe if it's on an iPhone, you clear out the browser and then download Zoom for your iPhone. I don't have an iPhone because I feel that that's one of the issues the bees are having such a problem with. We need to be protecting our resources, not only for ourselves, but for our children. I started Earth College in 2007 with my son and daughter and husband at the time, and we went across the country and we're talking about and sharing information with people across the country on ways to live sustainably and in your daily lives. And we would talk about recycling and reducing and reusing and recycling, which are the three basic R's, but there are many other ways that you can live sustainably. I live on a small farm. It's an organic farm, and you know, it's a beautiful place, and I would love to have my children come and live with me. It's so beautiful here, and you know, I pray one day that they will. And I do what I do today for the love of my children, and I know that many out there are doing similar things for the love of their children. And we are working together and talking about the ways in which we can stop the abuse of power, stop the misappropriation of funds, stop the fraud, stop all of the seizing of our children. And I sent a request to, you know, how Bernie Sanders is championing the single-payer healthcare system. And he was the only candidate, the only representative that when you write support family values in the browser, his name comes up. And, you know, it's like, so I'm appealing to Bernie Sanders. I used to be a constituent of his when I lived in Vermont. And I am appealing to Bernie Sanders that he be a champion for the Parental Bill of Rights that parentalrights.org is coming out with. And, you know, they're consistently getting states, and some states have agreed to enact the Parental Bill of Rights, just like Arizona did. But that's only 5 states. That leaves 45 other states that don't recognize it. And so we got to step it up, start talking to the politicians, the lobbyists that are there, that are talking about our human rights, whether they be the human rights of immigrants or the human rights of Americans. We're all human. So, you know, those are the people we should be approaching, I believe. And I hope that, you know, we can, in the next couple of months, do just that. Going in September to DC would be a dream come true for me, to be able to be there in September. And I am asking for donations and assistance in getting over there. And it's going to be from September 17th to the 20th. And I have another parent advocate who would like to attend as well. And I hope that we can earn enough money with your generous donations to make it to DC and hopefully share the information that I've been putting together for each state. Parental Bill of Rights in Arizona, Constitution, our Constitutional Bill of Rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And so I hope that you will share this information and share this video with others, and let's talk. Let's talk about the things that we can do to stop the destruction of families everywhere, the denial of parents' fundamental rights to be parents. We can do this together, and I hope you will join us at the coalitionforprotection.com. And we are looking for parent advocates to participate in the online Parent Advocate Network and help parents who are in distress. So please join us. Again, the website is coalition4protection.com. And since I'm the only one here and I have pretty much talked your ear off for 45 minutes, I would like to bid you adieu. Peace, love, and light. And I hope to hear from you all soon.